Peace and love, everybody. It's your boy Kurt the Jerk saying what up. Today I'm by myself. Yeah, it hurts. My team is out. They out right now. They doing their thing. And I'm on it by myself. I'm holding it down. Hold Me Down Records. I got a few topics we're gonna talk about today. I was just testing the water, seeing what people were talking about, looking at the current events. I was pretty much busy as hell this week, so I really couldn't do as much as I would like to do. But now that I'm on, I'm about to have a little fun, and I want you guys to join me. And we're going to take it from there. We're going to have a good time. So making sure I'm live streaming, making sure everything is showing right. Just give me a minute, people. I got to get the audience going. I know people was waiting. I was supposed to be on since 10 o'clock. We supposed to be on since 10 o'clock, but ran into a bunch of snags and all that stuff. So now we on. Shit. I'm like, God damn it. Messing up right now. It's all good though. It's all good. We're gonna work it out. We're gonna work it out. So just give me a minute. I want to talk about this because this is a good subject matter right here. Jim Jones and your boy Nas. Nas haven't made music in many years, but I think he did some recently he did some collaborations, I think. And I think it was amazing. So, you know, I just wanted to point that out. Just give me 1 minute, people. Um, Trying to find something real quick. Yeah, what the hell is going on here? All right. It's always something. Just give me a minute, people. Just give me a minute. Un momento. They say in Spanish, un momento or some shit. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about this topic in a minute. Just give me a minute. All righty. So I hope everybody's doing great. I hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. It's Saturday. Normally we film on Fridays, but everybody was busy. Because unfortunately, until we make it big, we still have jobs and stuff like that. So that's just something to point out. We all still gainfully employed by somebody. We all work for somebody. Everybody got city, state, local government, all kinds of jobs. So we work for somebody. We answer to somebody right now. So that's just to point that out. We gotta work. We gotta work, man. Yep. So pretty much because of that reason, not saying there's any limitations, but you gotta work. You gotta make money and shit. It's nothing. Nobody can stop you. You have to do what you gotta do. And that's what we do. You work hard, and then at one time the dream would be maybe YouTube could retire us. That'd be really nice. What? You don't have to worry about nothing no more. You getting retired from YouTube. You making enough money on YouTube where you don't have to work a regular job no more. I know that's a passion and a dream for a lot of people, and maybe one day that could be our reality. It would be perfect. What I'm saying, for it to be our reality, but we'll see what happens. You know, maybe who knows? Maybe it might be our reality one day. You never know. But if further ado, we're gonna talk about this topic. I might as well just talk about it and get it out the way, right? We're gonna talk about Nas and Jim Jones, and everybody know the answer to this. And I think, in my opinion, that Jim Jones just was doing it for clout. I think because he has a project out. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? I think he has a movie out, and I think he was doing it for clout. Not movie. I'm sorry. He has an album out, and his album sound good. I listened to it. I was like, okay, it's pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's doing it just to get exposure. Cause Jim Jones know damn well he ain't good as Nas. Like, come on, let's be realistic here. Him being good as Nas, yeah, right. He knows it. Um, but doesn't mean that he suck. I would be lying if I say Jim Jones suck. I listen to some of Jim Jones music, but he's nowhere near the caliber of Nas, and I think he knows that. And I think that would be the best thing in the world if he could get a collaboration. Not a collaboration, but like a battle with Nas. But Nas, Nas is not really taking rap that serious nowadays. He makes good money from the thing, his ventures and stuff. I know he owns a bus company. I know he owns a few different businesses. Like he's like a Jay Z in a sense. Like they got businesses. Nas is living his life. Music is still his passion, but it's not like, oh, I gotta make music to eat. If he does any songs, it's only for fun. and recreation. Like same thing. Went. Jay Z recently did some show. I forgot where it was. I don't know if it was in Paris. I think it was in Paris. And you know that song that him and Beyonce has or something like that. I think it was. I'm not sure. But he was on stage and everybody went crazy and all that. Yeah, because it's popping. You know what I'm saying? Paris is popping. They love our art, artistry, and stuff like that. People love Jay Z. You know, Jay Z's a well respected dude. Um, and Nas is a well respected dude. I love Nas. You know what I'm saying? I love them. I love the music. And I got much respect for Jim Jones too. So I'm not gonna trash him. But I know what you did, Jimmy. You did that just for clout. You did that for clout. And I would have done the same thing if I'm trying to get exposure, even though people know who I am. But not everybody's probably looking to run to download my stream and stuff like that. But now, since I talk shit about one of the greatest, maybe everybody gonna start listening to my shit so they could criticize it. Cause to me, I wouldn't even care, even if you download my shit so you could criticize me on my music and say it suck or whatever. Well, you still bought it, and I'm still getting a paycheck. I'm getting paid from it, so it's no issue there. So I just wanted to end that. Everybody know Nas is better, right? Okay, we don't have to really go too hard with that. But I want to talk about the candidates. We're going to talk about politics. You know, since I'm on it by myself, my team don't really do politics well like that. They're not interested in stuff like that. But I am. So I'm going to talk about politics. I'm going to talk about the possible New York mayor, Madani. I think he's an awesome guy. He's a democratic socialist. For anybody to understand what a socialist is, look it up. There's so many different meanings for it, so it gets kind of confused. But by no means possible in America, it won't be no communists. Like, let's be realistic here. It's just government run programs that help the people. And the sense that he's trying to do it that way, meaning that AI is going to start taking more jobs away and people, there's going to be more unemployed people. We got to have some type of system to still help people. You know, I understand that there may have been some waste, fraud, and abuse in the social programs, but the key is not to cut it; it's to investigate and see how everything is being ran. And I think I'm not gonna go crazy with the Trump administration, but I think they did it wrong by just cutting programs left and right. I mean, in my opinion, I think they did it because they want to budget. You know, they want to do socialism for the rich, which give them a tax break and screw the poor over. Like they cutting our social programs because they say it's waste, fraud, and abuse. But instead of investigating it and investigating with a fine comb, trying to find all the fraud or abuse, they cut the program, they cut the funding down. So all it does is make the situation much worse. So like even with Medicaid, apparently it look like people are going to be off of Medicaid, millions of people. That's the issue right there. My thing is, in this country, and Jasmine Crockett said that we have only 83 billionaires. So the reason why most of Americans go through the situation they go through because of 83 billionaires. That's insane. 83 billionaires is the reason why we go through the shit we go through. And Madani wants to take it back. He wants people were saying that he wanted to cut the police department. No. A lot of the police department, a lot of people that's police officers, and I know few of them, quite a few police officers, and one of the things they don't want to do is, unless that's their detail, is to constantly do domestic violence cases or mentally ill issues. They didn't get on the police force for that. They got on the police force to help people or do serious crimes. So what Madani wants to do is he want to let the cops focus on they duty that they're supposed to, and not deal with so many mental health cases. So by him doing that, he's gonna hire mental health therapists, mental health people that can deal with those cases, that they can go and address those situations, so cops don't have to constantly go everywhere, because a lot of them don't have the proper training anyway. And that's why sometimes you hear oh, a person so and so, he was what is it, intellectual disability. He had an intellectual disability, but because the cop is not trained with mental health, he misinterpreted the situation, and then it resulted in something perhaps fatal. That happens pretty often. So because everybody don't go to school for that type of field, they go to school a lot of times. If you become a police officer in New York, you need at least 60 college credits. And a lot of times, if you plan on being a cop, you go to school for what? Criminal justice, right? To get a little understanding of the law a little bit. Not no law school, nothing like that, but criminal justice. And but you don't really go for mental health, because if you go in mental health, then you probably be working in that field. So that's part of the issue right there. But I got an interview that I thought was pretty interesting. I want to share with you guys that I watched, and it was on what was it, ABC or some shit, one of those channels. I'm gonna play a video and I'm gonna watch it, and I might pause it from time to time if I have to put my input in. But I want you to watch the video with me, and tell me what you think about it. But Madani right now, I think he got the momentum. I think he got the heart of the American people, the heart of the New Yorkers. He wants to do good for us. He wants to help pro. I mean, some of the stuff I hear that he wants to do it, I think is not realistic, or it could be realistic. I guess we got to dig deeper into his actual strategy. I mean, he talks about it, but I kind of want to go in more depth so I can get more of a better understanding what is he replying to. But I think a lot of the stuff that he was talking about is amazing. Like the American, New Yorkers need help. And you know what? At some point, and no disrespect to anybody as a billionaire, I would love to be a billionaire, but the whole idea is that you got so much money. How much more money you need from the government? Because at the end of the day, when they talk about socialism, they want to throw the word communist in there. So a lot of working class American people get misunderstood on the concept of what Mondani's trying to do and say that he's a communist. No, he wants to do something for the American people. Our government doesn't do enough for us. We pay a lot of money into the tax system, and the government don't do enough for us. So what he wants to do, at least with local government, New York City, he wants to make sure he allocate resources to help the working man. I don't see what the problem is. I don't see why people have issues with it. You're gonna have waste, fraud, and abuse in every system, meaning that you're gonna have some people that's taking advantage that don't need the service. But nevertheless, why would you take the services away? And a lot of people forget. I come from the hood, and at some point I had benefits. I got benefits. My family got benefits. We got programs and stuff. We came from nothing. We doing okay now, but it was a time that we wasn't. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you can share the same story, that we come from nothing, and they had those social safety nets to help us out and put us in a better position. Yeah, some people stayed behind and they got lazy and shit like that. Yeah, I get it. But also remember, it was the government that tried to make people codependent on these programs. It was in the 70s. It was strategic. It was done by design. I'm not going to really go into the depths because that's a whole different video on history and how it affect minorities, black people back in that time. I'm not going to go into that rabbit hole right now. I'm just going to stay on topic with Madani. I think he's a great guy. And young guy, 33 years old too. We need some young people in Congress. I mean, we need some young people. We need some young politicians. We got too many old ones setting their own ways. Some of them are very conservative because that's what happens when you get older. You get more conservative because now you're not so quick to think of new ideas and think of new ways to do things. You just like, oh, I just wanted to be nice and simple. But America's not simple. This social experiment is not simple. It's complicated. We need somebody that has goals and ambitions. And now let me tell you something. With Madani, all the stuff that he wants to do, I'm pretty sure he's not going to do all that stuff, be able to. But if he gets something done, I'm gonna be excited. Now the question is, do you want to still vote for Cuomo? Because I like Cuomo too. But here's the thing: if you get Cuomo, you're just gonna get the same old shit that Eric Adams is doing right now. I'm not a big fan of Eric Adams. Um, that's my bias. I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not a big fan of him. I'm more lean towards the progressive side because the progressives want to do stuff for the people. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody that gets money from corporations, they're gonna do for the corporations, and that's the reason why they need to take money out of politics. That's and the problem is the reason why they constantly people always worry about how much money they got to send ads and stuff like that is because it's all about brainwashing and social engineering. You see something over and over, you start to believe it. So that's the reason why with Republicans and Democrats, potential officials trying to get in these positions, they'll send you letters, emails, they'll send you a video, you see commercials, a lot of commercials, because the key is to constantly hit your head all the time with this information, because if they hit it enough, you're going to start to believe the stuff that come out their mouth, because the brain, everybody understand marketing is about repetitious. If one person see the same ad 20 or 30 times, he going to start to believe the ad. And that's the reason why you got two different ads running at the same time, Republican side, Democrat side, and they doing all this. Now, my biggest issue is I got a problem with the Democrats right now. The established Democrats, y'all need to fall in line. Y'all need to endorse Madani and stop playing games. I have an issue with you guys. I promise you, I will put my own money up when it's time for you guys to get reelected, and y'all gonna have some issues because I have a problem with the shit y'all doing. Y'all, first of all, Hakeem Jeffries, I don't know how you from. No disrespect, and I'm gonna be critical because I'm just one of those working class people, that middle class people y'all talk about. I have an issue with Hakeem Jeffries because you don't. It's like some people, they get so much education that they just don't know how to relate to the average person. But I hear that you from Crown Heights. You from BK, man. You gotta get your. You know why Donald Trump is so captivating? Because he know how to communicate with his base and not try to sound like a tape recorder and be politically correct. Y'all gotta stop being politically correct because that shit is gone. Trump killed that whole thing. You gotta be down to earth. I want to see some curse words come out your mouth every now and then. Show that you passion. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to use the biggest words, or you don't need to be so articulated and stuff. You can make mistakes. Be a fucking human. That's the issue I have with you guys. Y'all fucking robots. Y'all dropping the ball right now. Y'all have the opportunity to turn this whole situation around because I'm not a fan of the Trump administration and things they're doing. But you guys are gonna drop the ball because y'all don't even know how to communicate properly. You know, I like AOC. AOC is awesome. You know, I'm like I said, I'm more lean towards the progressives. I'm more of a centrist because I lean both ways. I understand the concept of business. I understand things for business. I understand socialism for business because they get programs and they get help too. So the problem is when y'all go after Madani because he's a democratic socialist, y'all go after him because he's not a socialist for business. He's a socialist for the people. What the fuck is wrong with that? And anybody has a problem with programs being allocated in your neighborhood that's already impoverished, doing bad, a lot of crime because there's a lack of resources, lack of education, you should want to vote for somebody like him because he wants to do stuff in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Now, you Democrats, y'all better rally up against him. I promise you, I will put out so many social media ads on you guys that y'all better don't fuck up. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to come for me. I could come back. I know a lot of stuff about you guys, but I let it slide because I know nobody's perfect. But this guy Madani, and the funny thing about it is, I think what confuses a lot of people is that he didn't come from a poor background. He's come from a wealthy background, but yet he want to do something for us. So let's get it to going. But I wanna play this interview because I thought it was pretty interesting. So we're gonna put this interview on, and without further ado, we're gonna put on Madani in the interview. And it's by who was by? Hold on a second. I'm over here messing up and stuff. Okay, Meet the Press. Okay, so this is by Meet the Press. So we're gonna play this interview because I thought it was pretty awesome and stuff like that.
Welcome back. A stunning political upset this week in the race to lead America's biggest city. 33-year-old Democratic Socialist and New York State Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani is poised to win the Democratic primary for New York City, beating out former Governor Andrew Cuomo. He's now set to head to the general election, but his likely primary win is already sending shockwaves through the Democratic Party. And joining me now is Zohran Mamdani. Mr. Mamdani, welcome to Meet the Press.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. There is so much to discuss. We have to start with your remarkable victory in the primary for mayor.
See, this is what we need, and I'm not going to be stopping it like this too much. I want you guys to watch the video with me, but we need some young energy in there. I need some young people, and I think a lot of young people are educated nowadays, and that's the reason why they're not playing these games. And he got the younger crowd. He's only 33 years old, man. You know, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of the work that he's doing. I'm proud of the work that he did already. He's not brand new to politics. He's been a politician, but he's trying to do more. You know, and if he becomes the mayor of New York. I don't live in New York, but I'll be happy for you guys.
You're 33 years old. As I just said, you started out at close to 0% in the polls, Mr. Mamdani. You came back to topple one of the biggest names in New York politics, Andrew Cuomo. What was the secret to your success? Do you think it was your message? Do you think that voters were voting against Andrew Cuomo? A little bit of both. How do you see it?
I think ultimately it was the focus on the fact that we live in the most expensive city in the United States of America. It's also the wealthiest city in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, and yet 1 in 4 New Yorkers are living in poverty, and the rest are seemingly trapped in a state of anxiety. And what we've seen is that this is a city that needs to be affordable for the people who build it every day. Our focus was on exactly that. And by keeping that focus on an economic agenda, we showed New Yorkers that this could be more than just a museum of what once was. It could be a living, breathing testament to possibility.
Well, let me ask you about what I was just discussing with Senator Chris Murphy. The fact that you have Leader Schumer, Leaders Hakeem Jeffrey, who wrote very nice things about your victory, said you'd won a very strong case.
And that's the problem I have right there. What's called a spade? What the hell is going on with Hakeem Jeffrey? You know what I'm saying? What the hell is going on, man? You gotta endorse him. You from Brooklyn. You supposed to be from the grain. Like, you supposed to be the leader, right? You the leader of the Democrats right now. You gotta step your game up, man. You know what I'm saying? Because right now you don't make me a believer at all. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing is, I'm more of an independent, leaning towards the right. But the way this administration is running, it irritates me and it's disgusting. But you gotta articulate this bad boy, man. Like, you gotta endorse this man and stop playing games. All that corporate PAC money got your brain exploded.
Campaign have not endorsed you. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has endorsed you. Do you think the Democratic establishment is afraid of you?
I think that people are catching up to this election. This is an election that went against so much of the analysis that had been told about our party and where we needed to head to. And ultimately, what we're showing is that by putting working people first, by returning to the roots of the Democratic Party, we actually have a path out of this moment where we're facing authoritarianism in Washington, D.C.
Well, let's talk about your policies, your vision for this city. Here are some of the things you've proposed. Free buses, rent-stabilized housing.
Okay. And I'm not, like I said, I wasn't going to stop so much, but the free buses, it seemed like a stretch. But I don't know. He might got a system for it. You know, make the businesses pay a little bit more money. Make companies pay money that got it. Not the small business, but big business. You big business, you got to pay into it. This is a place you do business. You got to get back to the community somehow.
Housing, a $30 minimum wage, the creation of city-owned grocery stores. It's a very long list of proposals. So let me ask you, if you were to be elected the next mayor of New York, what would your day one priority be?
The first thing is living up to these promises that I've made, because I've made them because I intend to keep them. And in a city of about 8.5 million people, close to 2.5 million New Yorkers live in rent-stabilized housing. The mayor, through a board called the Rent Guidelines Board, sets whether or not those rents increase or stay the same. The previous mayoral administration froze the rent 3 times. This one, led by Mayor Adams, increased it by 9%.
Damn.
So the first thing that I would do is...
Just remember what he just said. The first one froze it 3 times, and then Mayor Adams come in, he increased it by 9%. What a dirtbag.
start to constitute a board that votes in reflection of reality. And the reality I'm speaking of is that the median household income of those tenants is $60,000 a year. The landlords of those units have seen their profits increase by 12%. It's time for relief for working class New Yorkers.
Okay, well, of course, the big question is, how are you going to pay for it? You've proposed increasing taxes on wealthier New Yorkers. The Democratic governor, though, of your state, Kathy Hochul, says she's not going to support increasing taxes in order to get it across the finish line. I want to let you take a listen to a little bit of what she had to say recently and respond on the other side. Here she is.
I'm not raising taxes on people at a time when affordability is the big issue. I'm actually cutting middle class taxes.
Even on the wealthy.
I don't want to lose any more people to go to Palm Beach. We've lost enough.
How are you going to raise taxes if you can't get Democrats to support it?
So I think what we've shown over the last 8 months is our ability to take that which is considered a non-starter and make it seem inevitable. We've shown that with this campaign. And ultimately, we're seeing that our vision to tax the top 1% of New Yorkers, these are New Yorkers who make $1 million a year or more, and our proposal is to just tax them by 2% additional, is something that has broad support and will continue to increase that support over the next few months and years.
So you think you're going to be able to twist Governor Hochul's arm and get her to support raising taxes? I mean, what about the fact that she says she's concerned New Yorkers might leave? They might go to Florida.
Ain't nobody leaving on New York like that. Cut the bullshit out. You know why? This is the financial capital of the world. It's business here. People making money. And I can't tell you, you know, you can find out what I do for a living. I work in the public sector. I'm a public servant. And let me tell you something. you got people still moving here. People are leaving, the poor people living, but rich people, they living here. They living on penthouses and stuff like that. They're not going nowhere because they business is here. Wall Street right there. They want to be able to be in Wall Street if they have to go there for any reason. The stock market right there. It's nothing. That's all bullshit.
I think it's time for a leadership that doesn't twist arms, but rather builds partnership. And I'm looking forward to having that with the governor, because ultimately my policies, my vision, it's driven by an assessment of what's actually happening. The Fiscal Policy Institute found that the top 1% of New Yorkers leave at 1/4 the rate of other income groups. And when they do leave, it's actually to other states considered high tax, New Jersey, California. So it's not fiscal policy, it's quality of life. And ultimately, the reason I want to increase these taxes on the top 1%, the most profitable corporations, is to increase quality of life for everyone, including those who are going to be taxed.
Here's how the Washington Post editorial board wrote about your proposals. They say a massive minimum wage would depress low-skilled employment. His rent freeze would reduce the housing supply and decrease its quality. Cutting bus fares would leave a transit funding hole that, unless somehow filled, would erode service. Meanwhile, the grocery business operates on thin margins, and his plan for city-run stores would probably lead to fewer options, poor service, and shortages. Mr. Mamdani, are your proposals going to hurt the very people you're trying to help?
Not at all. There have been many an editorial board who have had concerns, and what we've shown is that more than 400,000 New Yorkers are excited about this vision. And the reason they're excited about it is one that is in line with the scale of the crisis in this city. I mean, we are talking about our tax base growing smaller and smaller each day, with New Yorkers leaving to New Jersey, to Pennsylvania, to Connecticut. If we do not meet this moment, we will lose this city. And our proposals are ones that are thought out. They are ones that are also clearly going to be funded by these revenue streams. I'll give you an example. When we talk about grocery stores, I've put forward a proposal for a pilot of one grocery store in each borough. These are 5 grocery stores that would cost $60 million in a city budget of more than $113 billion. And ultimately, the reason that we are so excited by them is we've seen that they've worked in Kansas. We've seen that when a feasibility study was done in Chicago, it was shown to be something that was not only feasible, but pressing and urgent in an urban setting. And finally, it costs less than half of what the city's already set to spend on subsidizing corporate supermarkets without any guarantee of cheaper prices, any guarantee of collective bargaining agreements, or that they accept SNAP or WIC.
Well, you take me to my next question about grocery stores. Some executives, including one of the top grocery stores owners, billionaires, threatening to shut down his supermarket in the city. John Catsimatidis, who runs Gristedes grocery chain, you're probably very familiar with him. He said this on Election Day, quote, "If the city of New York is going socialist, I will definitely close or sell or move or franchise the Gristedes locations."
Don't listen to me.
In order to run New York City successfully as mayor, do you not need the support of a billionaire businessman like John Catsimatidis?
I don't know if I need his support specifically, but I want to make clear that my vision for this city is a vision for every single New Yorker, including business leaders across the city. And the reason I say that is that my proposals, even the ones to increase the top corporate tax rate of New York to match that of New Jersey, are ones that would also benefit those business leaders. Because when I have conversations with them, what I also hear is the just how expensive this city is preventing them from attracting and retaining the talent they need to grow their business. And ultimately, I'm looking forward to having those meetings, having those sit downs to make.
Well, here's the one thing that I realized, because when I first heard him say that he wanted to have government-run supermarkets, I thought he was trying to take away all businesses and just have government. See, I was thinking the same way everybody else was thinking, communist all the way. No, he just want to put one supermarket that's $60 million for a budget of $113 billion. I think I heard it right. And to the 5 boroughs, so have one supermarket in each borough, which will help the American people. New York need to help the New Yorkers. I think that's awesome. That's not a major issue right there, and I could see it happening. And it also create jobs. So what's the problem? People still gonna go to Whole Foods because Whole Foods got some quality products that you definitely ain't gonna. I doubt that they're gonna have all the quality food in a government-run food place, but at least it helps with people that don't have is not as fortunate to be able to buy some things. But I don't know.
clear why this vision would benefit all.
We went on your website and realized there's a policy proposal that says your plan, and I'm going to quote it for folks, is to shift the tax burden from overtaxed homeowners in the outer boroughs to more expensive homes in richer and whiter neighborhoods. Explain why you are bringing race into your tax proposal.
That is just a description of what we see right now. It's not driven by race. It's more of an assessment of what neighborhoods are being undertaxed versus overtaxed. We've seen time and again that this is a property tax system that is inequitable. It's one that actually Eric Adams ran on, saying that he would change in the first 100 days. He's since sought to defend it and lost at every juncture in court.
And I understand you're saying we're simply describing the types of neighborhoods that would see these increase in taxes. And yet, by invoking race, do you run the risk of potentially alienating key constituents?
I think I'm just naming things as they are. And ultimately, the thing that motivates me in this is to create a system of fairness. It is not to work backwards from a racial assessment of neighborhoods or our city. Rather, it's to ensure that we actually have an equal playing field. And right now, what we see with the property tax system is one that is.
Can y'all really have a problem with that? I know some people will, but why would you have a problem? He's trying to make it fair. He's trying to balance New York City. He's trying to make it so it's affordable for everybody. I don't see what the problem is. You know how much crime will go down when people have the resources they need? You know why? Because if you look at crime in general, if you look at a lot of people in prison, some of them in prison for self-control reasons, and some people in prison because of poverty. You know, because at the end of the day, anytime you talk to, and I've been in the prison, I did motivation speeches in prison. I mean, in jail, pretty much, county jail and prison. And one thing I learned is that they in there for economic situations. Always has something to deal with money. It's always money at the root of the situation. You know, and also lack of education, because the average grade level for somebody that in prison is what, 4th grade or something like that. So getting people to eat right, because eating right helps with your mental, and getting people education. You educate people, get them to eat right, creates a better environment for everybody, and it'll lessen the crime. So not saying that you won't need so many police officers, but at least the system, the balance of everything can be it'd be balanced better. I'm tripping on my goddamn words, but let me play this shit.
Overtaxing a number of New Yorkers and undertaxing others, and an inability of political will to resolve that.
So no plans to change that language on your website?
The focus here is to actually ensure a fair property tax system, and that the use of that language is just an assessment of the neighborhood.
All right. You are a self-described democratic socialist. Do you think that billionaires have a right to exist?
Nope.
I don't think that we should have billionaires, because frankly, it is so much money in a moment of such inequality. And ultimately, what we need more of is equality across our city and across our state and across our country. And I look forward to work with everyone, including billionaires, to make a city that is fairer for all of them.
Well, let me ask.
And see, what he just said made a lot of sense. And just remember, the wealth gap. See, I can see if the system is where billionaires are where they at, and the working class where they at, and the poor people where they at, and the gap is staying the same, it's pretty much even. No, it's just going like this. This is the wealth gap between rich and poor, like this. It's going like that. It just keep on getting wider and wider and wider. That's not fair. You know what I'm saying? So he wants to make the system fair. I know that he's going to run into a lot of roadblocks, and I don't think that he's going to do half the stuff he wants to do. But damn it, I'd rather somebody that try versus somebody that's defending it, like Eric Adams and all the other politicians and stuff that's running the race right now. Some of them are a piece of shit, but I'm not going to say their names. I'm just going to be nice about it.
Ask you about what Donald Trump, the president of the United States, has had to say. He's had a lot to say about your campaign. He called you a communist. Because he's the president, I want to give you a chance.
See that trick word right there? Anytime somebody wants to do something for the people, like they call Bernie a communist too. Look at the words they use. A communist. He's a communist because he wants government agencies to actually do something for the American people. How in the hell is that communist? He's not telling you what to do. He's saying, listen, we're going to make things cheaper. We're going to have a government-run supermarket where you could come and buy products and stuff like that. Where the fuck is the issue at? The issue I have is that these stupid news reporters, not her, I think she's great, and I think she's trying to keep her job. But there's a lot of other news reporters that's reporting this shit saying communists. Y'all some dumbasses, and y'all know y'all not dumb. No, I take that back. Y'all actually very intelligent. Y'all know what the hell y'all doing. Y'all smearing him because y'all don't want American people to get any help. last time I checked, this administration is taking away a lot of shit from people, and he wants to at least help New Yorkers because that's where his power lies if he becomes the mayor. And y'all calling him a communist because he want to help the average working man like me? You know what I'm saying? Man, listen. Let me play this shit, goddammit.
To respond directly to him. How do you respond? Are you a communist?
No, I am not. And I have already had to start to get used to the fact that the president will talk about how I look, how I sound, where I'm from, who I am, ultimately because he wants to distract from what I'm fighting for. And I'm fighting for the very working people that he ran a campaign to empower that he has since then betrayed. And when we talk about my politics, you know, I call myself a democratic socialist in many ways inspired by the words of Dr. King from decades ago, who said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There has to be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. And as income inequality has declined nationwide, it has increased in New York City. And ultimately, what we need is a city where every single person can thrive.
All right. Stay right there. We are going to take a quick break. More of our exclusive conversation with Zohran Mamdani when we come right.
That wasn't bad, you know what I'm saying? But that's the point I was trying to make.
And the presumptive Democratic nominee for mayor of New York, Zohran Mamdani. Thank you so much for sticking around for more questions. Let's talk about immigration, deportation. Amazing. Are you committed to keeping New York as a sanctuary city?
Absolutely, because ultimately we've seen that this is a policy that has kept New Yorkers safe for decades. It's a policy that had previously been defended by Democrats and Republicans alike until the fear-mongering of this current mayor. And it's a policy that we've seen ensures that New Yorkers can get out of the shadows and into the full life of the city that they belong to. And it's one that I will be proud to stand up for.
Well, you know, the border czar, Tom Homan, has said that he is planning to deploy ICE agents to New York, worksite enforcement to essentially increase and enhance the number of ICE agents here. If that happens on your watch, how do you plan to handle it?
We have to stand up and fight back, and we haven't.
Not for nothing, when I seen some of the ICE videos, and I don't know if it's photoshopped or I don't know if it's fake, but I seen them run up on regular American citizens and try to kidnap them. I got a warning for you guys. No, I'm gonna warn them because I know a few ICE agents. You know, I know a few of them. They're good people, but they doing their job, and I guess they getting their bag because Trump is paying them a lot of money. I'm about to get a job. No, I'm joking. But the thing is, you run up on me with a mask, I hope you prepared. That's all I'm going to say. You can't run up on me with a mask. You better show your goddamn ID so I'll cooperate. I'm not cooperating with a mass vigilante because I don't know who is a real agent. Because if you're a real agent, I respect all authorities. I respect cops. I love law enforcement. That's strong words. I got a lot of law enforcement friends, so I'm a little biased. I'm cool with law enforcement. But I will say this. Any agents run up on me with no mask, I hope you know how to fight. And I hope you know how to use your gun because I'm not letting you kidnap me because I'm afraid y'all might make me disappear. And the reason why I say that is because you have some American citizens that actually got locked up recently that they just settled for $100,000. Like, what the hell is going on? He was locked up for days. You mean to tell me I couldn't straighten that shit out right away? He told you he's a citizen, but y'all ain't believe him because maybe he has an accent and he's from the U.S. Virgin Islands and stuff like that. Come on. And U.S. Virgin Islands is what? U.S. It's just the Virgin Islands, which is hilarious. But shit, ask Trump. He probably say, oh, that's another country. Let me get back to it. But nah, hell no.
Seen that from our current mayor, who has instead been working with the Trump administration to assist in their goal of building the single largest deportation force in American history. I mean, we saw ICE agents arrest a migrant at Federal Plaza, and then we saw NYPD officers arresting a pastor who was peacefully observing that arrest. Those days are going to come to an end when I'm the mayor. The NYPD's job is to create public safety in the city, not to assist ICE agents in their mission to attack the very fabric of this city.
And not for nothing, I haven't seen anybody point this one thing out. You got a lot of legal people here, legal residents or people that's just legal in this country, not illegal, not going to their appointments and not going to their appointments with the fear of them getting arrested. So that's what's going on right now. They're afraid that they might get arrested, so they're not going to their appointments. That's crazy, right? You're not going to go to your appointment because you're afraid you're going to get arrested. So now, once you don't go to your appointment, now you're considered illegal. You see how that situation works? So I think this administration is turning a lot of people to illegals. My opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe I don't understand the terminology. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I'm not an attorney. I'm just speaking from what I'm seeing, at least as far as media, because from what I'm hearing, ICE is doing on purpose, which they filming a lot of their arrests and filming it on purpose. To show, I guess, it's the fearmonger people and stuff like that. But everybody needs due process, and the reason why you need due process, because what if you go lock me up? I'm born here, my family born here, my ancestors here, everybody's here. You know what I'm saying? From a lot of generations. But because there's no due process, you're gonna just send me to some prison camp? Really? That's fucked up. So you need due process so they can have their day in court to fight. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And then there's jobs that they take that ain't nobody like me want. I don't want to work in no damn field and shit. I'm black. My people did that already. we didn't want to pick no cotton or pick no oranges and nothing like that, or not pick whatever. Hard pass.
I want to talk about the historic nature of your candidacy. If you were to win, you would become the first Muslim mayor of New York City. Along the way, throughout the course of this primary campaign, you have received death threats. You've received all sorts of attacks online. Congressman Andy Ogles called for you to be deported, for example, because you were born in Uganda. He also issued an Islamophobic epithet, which I am not going to repeat here. But what type of toll has this taken on you personally and on your family?
It's been difficult. It's been difficult to have to deal with the regular and repeated smears and slander upon my name and on the very basis of my faith. And I think what's so sad is that this is but a glimpse into what life is like for many Muslim New Yorkers and many New Yorkers of different faiths who are constantly being told that they don't belong in this city and in this country that they love. And ultimately, what continues to give me hope is that these moments are but small examples, something that goes against what so many New Yorkers actually feel. Because what we know is that this is a city for all of us. And what Tuesday night showed is that what New Yorkers want more than anything is a vision that binds us all together.
I want to ask you about an issue that has divided some New Yorkers in recent weeks. You were recently asked about the term globalize the intifada, if it makes you uncomfortable. In that moment, you did not condemn the phrase. Now, just so folks understand, it's a phrase that many people hear as a call to violence against Jews. There's been a lot of attention on
People still say nigga. They don't go to jail for that shit.
this issue. So I want to give you an opportunity to respond here and now. Do you condemn that phrase, globalize the intifada?
That's not language that I use. The language that I use and the language that I will continue to use to lead this city is that which speaks clearly to my intent, which is an intent grounded in a belief in universal human rights. And ultimately, that's what is the foundation of so much of my politics, the belief that freedom and justice and safety are things that to have meaning have to be applied to all people, and that includes Israelis and Palestinians alike.
But do you actually condemn it? I think that's the question and the outstanding issue that a number of people, both of the Jewish faith and beyond, have. Do you condemn that phase, globalize the intifada, which a lot of people hear as a call to violence against Jews?
I've heard from many Jewish New Yorkers who have shared their concerns with me, especially in light of the horrific attacks that we saw in Washington, D.C. and in Boulder, Colorado, about this moment of anti-Semitism in our country and in our city. And I've heard those fears and I've had those conversations, and ultimately they are part and parcel of why in my campaign I've put forward a commitment to increase funding for anti-hate crime programming by 800%. I don't believe that the role of the mayor is to police speech in the manner especially of that of Donald Trump, who has put one New Yorker in jail who's just returned to his family, Mahmoud Khalil, for that very supposed crime of speech. Ultimately, what I think I need to show is the ability to not only talk about something, but to tackle it and to make clear that there's no room for anti-Semitism in this city. We have to root out that bigotry, and ultimately we do that through the actions, and that is the mayor I will be, one that protects Jewish New Yorkers and lives up to that commitment through the work that I do.
That's pretty good, though. What he said makes a lot of sense. It sounds like he really trying to make everything across the board, meaning that not saying he's not going to help Jewish people. No, he got to help them too. Everybody needs help. But he's not going to just say, well, I can't just focus on Jewish people only because they're not the only ones in this New York City. I'm going to focus on all residents, all hate situations. You know what I'm saying? I'm focusing on that. And I think that's cool. I think it should be that way. And if anybody has a problem with that, then you just only care about one particular people. You don't care about black folks. You don't care about Hispanics. You don't care about this. Only Jewish people. No, everybody, you know, that's a New Yorker shouldn't have to worry about anything like that. But I defend Jewish people. I want nothing to happen to them either, you know. I want nothing to happen to black people either, you know. But it should be like what he's saying across the board. Everybody. He said he's gonna put a lot of funding into it to make sure everybody's protected. That's how it's supposed to be. How can we come together if everybody's keep on alienating everybody? Oh, we only focus on this. We only focus on that race of people or this type of people. No, everybody that lives in New York City should be protected and shouldn't have to worry about any type of hate crimes. So I follow what he say. It makes a lot of sense, and I understand that he's strategic. It seems like a very fair man. He's gonna be across the board.
Quickly, for the people who care about the language and who feel really concerned by that phrase, why not just condemn it?
My concern is to start to walk down the line of language and making clear what language I believe is permissible or impermissible takes me into a place similar to that of the president who is looking to do those very kinds of things, putting people in jail for writing an op-ed, putting them in jail for protesting. Ultimately, it's not language that I use. It's language I understand there are concerns about. And what I will do is showcase my vision for the city through my words and my actions.
Let me ask you broadly, your surprise victory has some progressive Democrats saying, boy, you may have determined the model for the Democratic Party nationally in this moment.
What she just said is 100%. Yes, we are tired. F established Democrats. I'm going to say it. Take money out of politics. Y'all get so much money. I understand. Here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. Let me not be a hypocrite. If I was a politician, I think I'd take money from corporations too, right? And I'll definitely look out for corporations too. But I also feel like I should negotiate with that corporation. Say, hey, listen, we got to get something to the people. I'm going to do some things for you. I'm going to help you get some money. But let's help the people too. Let's do both. Y'all can make more money, but they could be in a better financial situation. When we work it out both ways. I mean, it's probably difficult because the corporations only give you money because they want you to do something only, and that's it. But no, I would be more of a balanced politician. Like, all right, I'll take the money. Shit. You're going to give me something for myself? Thank you. But you also have to help the American people. Because think about it. This is what I don't understand these rich people. They're so damn greedy. If the people in New York City had more money, they're going to spend more money. That's just the average person, the average mindset of the person. They spend a large percentage of their money. So you want them to make more money. Guess what? They make more money. Guess what? They're going to your store. They're going to go to your store to shop. They're going to go here. They're going to go there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't go to the state government sponsored store that he will have if he does have one. So let's get back on with it.
Do you think your campaign represents the playbook for how to win in the Trump era for Democrats?
I think it showcases a new approach to politics in our city, and it's for others to decide across our country. Ultimately, what we wanted to do from the very beginning of this race was change our political instinct from lecturing to listening. And after the presidential election, where we saw New York be the state in the nation with the largest swing towards Donald Trump, 11.5 points, and we saw that swing took place far from the caricatures of Trump voters, I went to those hearts of immigrant New York City that were the fulcrum of those swings. Hillside Avenue in Queens, Fordham Road in the Bronx. And I asked Democrats, who did you vote for and why? And I heard from them again and again, I voted for Donald Trump because I could afford things that are now out of my reach today. And ultimately, when I asked them what would it take to bring you back to the Democratic Party, they said a relentless focus on an economic agenda. And that's the campaign that we built.
Do you think that your apparent victory is a sign that there is an appetite for young progressives like a Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to run for president in 2028?
Yes.
It's an honor to be endorsed by Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez and to have been represented by her for so many years, because she's showcased so much of what we're trying to do in this campaign, the ability to not only stand up and fight, but also to win. And ultimately, what people want to see is someone who doesn't just believe in something, but can deliver on those things. And now, especially more than ever, we need to be a party that's not just against Donald Trump, but also for something. And our campaign was for working people, for bringing dignity back into those lives. And that's what the Congresswoman has showed time and again.
I can't let you go without doing a little bit of local politics.
Please.
So Mayor Eric Adams already in the general election as an independent candidate. We're waiting to see if Andrew Cuomo officially throws his hat into the ring. Do you think you can win if the two of them are in the race? Can you beat both of them?
Absolutely. We can beat anyone that's in this race, because what we've shown is that this is a campaign that has the support of more than 400,000 New Yorkers. In the first round of Tuesday night, we got more votes than Eric Adams did by the last round of 2021. And ultimately, it's a referendum on how he made this city so unaffordable. For too long, politicians have pretended to simply be bystanders to a cost of living crisis. They've actually exacerbated it. And our vision is one that will respond to it and make this a city affordable for every New Yorker.
All right. Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani, thank you so much for the conversation. Really appreciate it. Please stay safe on the campaign trail.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yo, man, that guy Mamdani, man, yo, fucking thumbs up to him, man. He's an amazing guy. You know what I'm saying? Well said. See, that's why we need young blood in there. You know why? Because look at that. 33 years old, very resilient, answer the questions well, don't skip a beat, answer them. He just knocking them out, knocking them out, knocking them out. Difficult, tough questions. I think some of those questions are tough. Knocking it out, knock it out. But the thing is, you got these old politicians setting their own ways and used to doing things in the old ways. We don't need you. I think there should be an age limit on being a politician. I think at a certain age, you got to get your ass out of there and get some new blood in there. Because if you don't, then we have these old situations that stay along for the same, for a long period of time. Now, Eric Adams, he gotta go, man. He's corrupted. No disrespect to Eric Adams. I don't know him personally, but come on, man. Like, dude, you just got caught up with a whole financial situation. You got pardoned by Trump, so now you want to pretend. And I think he's just running. I think he know he ain't gonna win. I just think he's in a race just to appease Trump and make it seem like, hey, Trump, look what I'm doing, Mr. Trump over here. I'm trying to show you that I could play ball. I'm trying to win and stay in as the mayor. Nah, bro, we don't like you. Get out of here. And we're not a fan of who's the other guy? Like I said, I like Cuomo, but Cuomo's old, and give it to a young person. Cuomo got some scandals up his belt. I don't know if it was anything was proven. I haven't really followed it too much. And I actually like Cuomo. I met Cuomo 2 times, so I'm a little biased. I think he's a decent guy, but I think that he's too business, like he's too established. It's all about what's in the best interest for corporations, and we need somebody that's gonna focus on the American people. That's why he got the momentum on his side, because he kicking ass right now. He's busting ass right now. Like, the momentum is on his side big time, because he's not taking no shorts. Like, he went in on Cuomo, talk about his scandals and all that. Then he flipped back like, yo, we're going to talk about the American people and what they need. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about what New Yorkers need. I'm going to look out for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I like the fact that when one of the Jewish guys came to him and said, hey, so what about Jewish people? I'm looking out for you. You're a New Yorker. You here in New York and you live in New York. We're gonna take care of you too. See, people was under the assumption that, because he's Muslim or because he's a socialist, or he's anti or he's against Jewish people. No, he's not. He wants to help everybody. He wants to make sure the playing field is easy for everybody. Better for everybody. Because think about it, the wealth gap between rich and poor, like during COVID, it just got worse, and worse. We got to change that. How much money do you need to survive in this world? Like, once you already hit the B, you're billionaire, at some point, to me, I think is a mental illness. Because why you need all that goddamn money for? You know what I'm saying? And some of these billionaires, and I know you guys, I know what you guys do, and I'm not going to say nothing because it ain't my business, and I don't want y'all to come to look for my ass. But I know what you guys do. Y'all open up shell corporations, and y'all donate money to yourself to avoid taxes. That's bullshit. I'm a tax person, so I know what the hell you guys do. But I find it amusing though. Like, it's obvious. Some of it is obvious. I've seen some of y'all stuff which I do. It's obvious, but like I said, it ain't my place. And I wouldn't even care about what y'all do if y'all could just allow working class people to get a few extra dollars. Like, come on, man. This tax thing that this big beautiful bill is trash, man. Everybody know it. They struggling with it, but I didn't want to make this video so long. I ain't expect to be on it for an hour because I don't got my team, yo. I miss my team. They all doing their own thing. One is doing movie stuff right now. He's doing some big things, and the other one, she's doing some painting and stuff like that. So they doing some good stuff right now. They having a great time. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm gonna have a great time too. I'm about to go on my Oculus Quest. Anybody got an Oculus? I'll be on that joint, watching movies, chilling. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let you guys go, and I hope y'all enjoy this show. And stay tuned for next week, Friday. Normally we do Fridays, but everybody was doing something. Like I said before, we all work, so we still have jobs. We can't do this full time. We would love to, if somebody sponsors us, give us some funding, then maybe we can do this full time, and then we can have a lot of different projects out there, stuff like that. And this is Awareness Academy 401 Network. You know what I'm saying? Sponsored by StreamYard. StreamYard sponsors. That's why I have StreamYard up here. They actually sponsors, which is cool. But that's why I have the logo on there. But normally I don't have the logo on there, StreamYard, so it's cool. But I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope everybody's doing well. And peace. And stay tuned for next week, all right? Peace.